Shalom and welcome to Siman's of Torah. This year is entitled Responding to the Horrible Tragedy. This past Thursday, as we all know, we lost 10 men and women, 9 young women and a young man on Thursday in a horrible, horrible accident. Tragic shitafon, flash flood in the south. How do we respond? So, of course, we all know, Lo machshvotai machshvotechem, Hashem's ways. Sometimes we get a little insight into the beauty of the world, the Chachmat Hashem, both in the world of the Torah and the world of science and physics. And we see His Chachmi, we see the pattern, we see the universe, we see all the wisdom in God's creation, and we get a glimpse of it, and we have our Revna, and we study it and learn and appreciate His beautiful and just breathtaking world that's created, both the physical and the spiritual. And at times, just parts we don't understand. We should just be appreciative of the fact that our mind can understand any part of His world. And there are so many parts that we just cannot understand, whether it's physics, science, Torah, and especially in terms of the providence, how things work out. When someone comes to a tragic end, we don't understand the full picture. And we to Tziduk Hadin, Baruch Dan Emes. Next year we'll talk a little bit about the technical halachot of Baruch Dan Emes in such a tragic situation. But just from a philosophical standpoint, 2 points I want to make. Number one, as we just said, we don't have the full picture of God's reality, and we do Tziduk Hadin, accepting the bitter, bitter reality. For us it's bitter, and we understand that we don't fully understand the situation. But another point I'd like to mention as well, at least to try to take these horrible, horrible, tragic deaths and bring something positive about with it. There's something called the laws of nature. The laws of nature is a topic that's almost been forgotten since the Rishonim's times. Rishonim all talk about it. The Teva, everyone, the Rambam, and Sadigan, Kuzari, Chaskis Kreskas, Ben Bachya, Ben Bechaya, Ramban in Eov, and the list goes on, the Metsudot, go on and on and on, talking about something called the laws of nature. The last 500 years has been a shift, and it's not discussed so much. To me, it's a tragedy. 500 years of scholarship, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, hundreds, and just forgotten and ignored. And the laws of nature is a reality. God created laws of nature. God wills the laws of nature to exist. Without God willing the laws of nature to exist, nothing exists. But there are laws of nature that He is willing to exist. I go ahead and I take the kippah. I drop it. It's the laws of nature that God created to exist. And we sort of moved away from that, illegitimately in my opinion. And sometimes we don't recognize that these forces that God has created, they're true forces that must be reckoned with and dealt with in a rational and logical manner. And part of the mitzvah of Chivshuha is to conquer the world, understand the world, perceive the world, and deal with it in a responsible manner. And maybe one thing we could take from this tragedy is when we go to the beach, there's laws of nature, there's high tide, there's low tide, there's currents. And when the experts at the beach say there's no swimming, so let's just go to another beach where there's no lifeguards. That's not a rational response to laws of nature. When we drive recklessly, there's laws of nature there too, endangering ourselves and others as well. Our diet, smoking, whatever it may be, the nature, laws of nature, the world of science and research has plenty to say about all these things, and there's statistics, and there's facts, and there's figures. And there's facts and figures of how fast a person drives, what the results could be. Of course, in this tragic situation, we all know now, we're all chachamim about flash floods. I've seen videos of flash floods, and they're all chachamim. What happened Thursday? I don't know. that will let everyone else work out. But in terms of our lives, let's at least make some tikkun about bringing back into our life something called the laws of nature. God oversees it. I'm not taking God out of the picture, chas v'shalom. God oversees the laws of nature and at times intervenes, at times may suspend the laws of nature, something called a miracle. But our responsibility is to deal with these laws in a responsible way, with chachma, with the guidance of experts. So let's at least try to make some tikkun of this horror and take something with us, that at least that this could serve some meaning for us in a practical way. Obviously, people can learn about their lives and find inspiration about that, but I don't know much about them yet. But at least this, let's take with us. To bring back this phenomenon called Teva, we interact with it, and it's something we have to reckon with in a responsible way. Once we do that, we jog, we exercise, we eat healthy, we're careful how we drive, we're careful what kind of hike we go on, we check out with all the experts in all of these things, then we say, Hashem, I've done everything here that I could do. Please protect me. Please bless my efforts. I've dealt with the laws of nature. I've made rational efforts. Hashem, please bless those efforts. And then, Yetz Hashem, that synthesis of the realistic, proper planning with Siyata Dishmaya should give us all success. May the memory of these 10 young men and women serve for blessing and inspiration for us all. May we hear Besurot Tovot. Shalom.